If you're standing in the middle of a home gym right now thinking, I need something reliable, easy to live with, and worth the money, you're not alone. A lot of people worry that a treadmill will turn into a space eater that gathers dust, or that the machine will quit the moment you finally get motivated. The stakes feel high because you're not just buying a piece of equipment, you're investing in a habit that could change your health trajectory. That's why I spent a good chunk of time digging through specs, owner forums, and a handful of expert write-ups before I even turned the camera on. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's talk about the Life Fitness T5 treadmill. At first glance it looks like a premium treadmill you'd find at a commercial gym, but the real question is whether that big gym vibe translates into a practical, everyday workout partner at home. The biggest hesitation I keep hearing from buyers is the fear of a treadmill that's either too complicated or too flimsy. The T5 tries to walk that line with its FlexDeck shock absorption system, a patented deck that promises to cushion each stride. In everyday use that means you'll feel less impact when you're jogging a mile or two, which is a genuine plus if you've got knee or joint concerns. It's not a brand new, hyper-elastic suspension system, just a well-engineered deck that does a respectable job of smoothing the ride without adding a lot of bulk or cost. First off, the treadmill's footprint is something you'll notice right away. The running surface is a generous 60 inches long by 22 inches wide, so taller users or anyone with a longer stride won't feel cramped. In my testing with a 6-foot 2-inch friend, he could comfortably maintain his natural gait without constantly worrying about hitting the front or sides. That space does mean the unit itself is a bit larger than a compact fold-up model, but the deck's footprint is still manageable for most garage or basement setups. It sits on a sturdy frame that doesn't wobble when you crank up the speed, which is the kind of stability you want if you're planning to do interval sprints or incline work. Now, the Quick Start feature is more than just a memory button. The treadmill actually recalls your last 3 speed settings, so when you hop on after a day off, you can just press the familiar numbers and be moving within seconds. For someone who rolls out of bed and wants a quick 20-minute cardio burst, that reduces that momentary friction of hunting through menus. The learning curve is shallow, and the console is split into 2 zones. An entertainment zone at eye level, and a control zone just below. The dual zone layout makes sense because you can glance at the video or playlist you are streaming without losing track of your heart rate readout and speed. If you're the type who likes to binge a series while you run, that visual design actually saves you from tilting your head up and risking neck strain. Bluetooth connectivity adds a layer of data tracking that many home users appreciate. Pairing the treadmill with a phone or tablet lets you push workout metrics to popular fitness apps, which means you can keep a single log of runs, calories, and heart rate trends. One thing to watch, though, is that the system isn't as robust as a dedicated HR monitor. It relies on the treadmill's built-in sensors. For casual cardio that's fine, but if you're a serious powerlifter or marathon trainer looking for precise HR zones, you might still want a chest strap or dedicated smartwatch. Speaking of power, the T5's motor is a 2.5 chp, continuous horsepower, engine. On the surface that looks solid for a home treadmill, and for most users it's more than enough to sustain speeds up to 12 miles per hour without stalling. The motor doesn't shout or overheat during a 30-minute run, which is a comfort if you have a small garage where ventilation is limited. However, the treadmill lacks a high-intensity sprint mode that pushes beyond 12 miles per hour, so elite sprinters, or those training for a 5K time trial might find it a little limiting. If you're targeting a marathon or just steady cardio, you're well covered. Where the T5 starts to show hidden trade-offs is in its noise level. The deck's shock absorption does mitigate impact, but the motor and belt still produce a consistent hum that can be audible across a typical 2-room apartment. Users who need a treadmill for early morning cardio in a shared living space might want to test it in person first, or pair it with a rug to dampen the sound. It's not a whisper-quiet machine, but the acoustic footprint is typical for a treadmill in this price range. Another practical nuance is the console's connectivity features. While the Bluetooth link works smoothly with the Live Fitness app, the console itself doesn't have a built-in screen for streaming video. That means you have to rely on an external device for entertainment, which some users find a bit clunky. The two-zone